Today on the table, we have a Walther PP. So this is in 765, which is a 32 ACP. You can see here. This one's actually all original as well, and we'll go over that. So just a little bit of history about Walther, though. So obviously they made the PP series. This is the very first one of that. And then from that, they made the PPK, the PPKS, the PPKE, and then there's even a PPKL as well. But this is what started all. This is the Walther PP. Now these started in 1929, and then they're actually made till present day. They reintroduced them in 2025. They came in quite a few different calibers. There is a 22, a 32, which is what this is, or 7.65. There's a 380, and then there's also a 9x18 Ultra is what they call it. So 9mm by 18 Ultra. And I don't know much about those, nor have I seen any of those. I might get a 380 or even a 32 in this, which would be nice to have. Now this is a little bit longer than the PPK. And this is actually, if you watch the very first James Bond movie, this is the gun, the very first gun James Bond uses in basically the first or second scene of the entire movie before he switches over to the PPK. So just as a kind of a cool little fact about that. So just some, more, it was designed for police use is what these were mainly used for. A lot of police forces in Europe use them basically from, in the 1930s and even later. So again, when they were introduced in 1929, they were made generally for police forces and such, pretty much all over the world. They were designated because they was nice because they had quite a few safety features. Obviously, there is this actual safety here as well, which is always a plus. And then they had, an automatic hammer block, and then there is a decocker that you can see on this as well. So, and then there's a loaded chamber indicator on it as well too, which is that little piece right here you can see on the side. But we can just do a quick safety check on it so you can see that this one obviously is not loaded. Right there. I can see there, it is not loaded. And then we can look at the mag here. So you can see here. So since this isn't 32 ACP, this is an 8-round magazine. So if you got a 22, it comes in a 10-round, and then the 380 and then the 9x18, that one is a 7-round magazine. And then, which I like about these, and you remember probably seeing in my Beretta model 1934 and 1935, similar to these Walthers, they have the magazines with this finger, for your pinky finger to rest on, which is really nice. It does help with giving you more grip on it. This one has its original plastic, Bakelite looking grips on it. This one was a police used one. So this is an actual police force one, and I'll show you that here as well. So you can see the markings, and I'll show you what that means. So what they did is, since it was police used, and it's hard to tell which police force it was, but what happens is after the police force uses it, they X out their proof mark. So you can see those X's right there that they stamped into it, and that means now it can be sold for civilian use. So, and that is obviously how I came up to acquire it. This one, if I remember the year on this one, I think it's like 1962, somewhere in there, 1963. So it's, it's pretty old. It's been around for a while. It's in fantastic condition. It has a little bit of wear here, probably from a holster. But, other than that, I mean, it's in great condition for, for its age. Like I said, I didn't push the magazine in far enough. But yeah, so what happened is that even during World War II, the Germans used these. So they were used by tons of different police forces, like I mentioned, the PPs and the PPKs, but obviously these were first. Austria, Australia, Brazil, Denmark, Sweden, the UK, and then some places in the United States, they've all used these as officers' sidearms. And then during World War II, the German military used these. So, and I'm going to probably say these German names wrong, but the Luftwaffe, as well as uninformed, and those are Ordnungsbotzers, I guess they were called. And then there's also plainclothes detectives in the Nazi Party that also used these as well. So, kind of creepy, but that's also kind of cool, just like a history thing in that regards. But yeah, so They're just a super, super cool pistol. And then the other thing that's kind of interesting too about the Walther PP is it's been copied by this model, and the PPK have been are copied by so many other manufacturers for designs for their own models of pistols. So, you know, ones that they were, or maybe I guess you could say copied / inspired. But the Soviet Markov, there's the Hungarian, there's the FEG, there's the Czechoslovakian VZ50, and then an American Tech AT380. And then there's the Argentine Bursa Thunder 380. Those are all, they copied the design and some of the safety features that these Walthers have for those pistols when they were made. So it's just kind of cool. But I mean, I think one of the coolest facts, and most people don't realize, is that these get so much overlooked because James Bond carried the PPK. But in reality, this was the first one that he had. Even though it was one that he turned in the beginning of the movie to get the Walther PPK, it is kind of a cool feature to know that that is what he had first. So yeah, if you got one of these, let me know. Let me know what caliber you have it in. That'd be kind of fun to hear. I will do a comparison video of this and the PPK so you can see the difference in size. And the ones I have are in similar caliber too, so that'll be kind of nice to see. But let me know if you have any questions.